when you left school then, was there any point where you thought that comedy might be a career for you?
No, never. I never dared mention in the family I wanted to go on the stage. They'd laugh. Get yourself to Camel Laird's and become a boilermaker.
Where I was, you can go and work for Marley Tiles or in the bank, depending on whether you're posh or not.
You could have saved a lot of people a lot of trouble and done either of those two careers, Charlie.
Yep, I had a glittering career in banking ahead of me.
I was a salesman, you see. Early on, knocking on doors. Good morning, madam. Could I interest you in a bucket?
I was an accountant. And I had a degree in accounting and decided it wasn't for me. And I decided I was going to see if I could make a living in comedy.
I was working in marketing. I'd worked in advertising. I was there working in marketing. And I didn't like it. I didn't like my life.
I was studying to be a rabbi just to please my father, even though I wasn't particularly that religious. And I said to myself, I can't live my whole life to please my father. I think it'll be enough that I become a rabbi, fulfill his dream, and then sneak around and do what I want. And doing little performances in different places. So I would come back to my father and tell him it, and then admit to him that I was telling jokes, but I'm not thinking of it as a profession. I found out that from telling jokes, you could make a few dollars. So if I came back with $25 to my father, it was like $1 million.
Then I went to Butlins as a redcoat, and that was just manna from heaven for me. Showing off in front of people. But because you had the red coat and the whites, you were a star and you could get away with murder. And the only thing I didn't like doing was the bingo. So I used to get myself sacked off that. I only did it twice. They said he's useless because, you know, bingo ladies have this religion. 2 little ducks, quack, quack, 22. Macmillan's Den, number 10. Well, I used to go, Macmillan's Den, number 8. No! 2 little ducks, 47. No! And they'd be marking, and they'd say, get him off.
I did stop by University College Cork.
Excellent.
And after I did do 2 years there, and then left. My reasoning being, if I said I went to Oxford and got a first, someone might bother to check that.
Yes.
But, you know, a BA Hons from UCC. Yeah, I'm sure he did.
When I met Charlie at university, and he dyed his hair, this is a strange thing, and he had some weird boots on, that were après ski boots, which I didn't even know what skiing was. I'm joking with you. And he called himself Switch.
Did you?
Yeah, I'd got quite bored with my life. I was living near Sevenoaks. I'd had a very, very straight upbringing. Small town, you knew everyone, and I was bored. I wanted a complete change. I wanted to reinvent myself. I dyed my hair, and I went to university, and of course no one there knew me, so you say what you're called. I'm called Switch, and you expect to say, no, you're not. What are you talking about?
But we didn't. We all sort of went along with it.
All right,
you know?
okay. And after you've done it a couple of times, you think, well, that was easy. I wish I'd thought up a better character and name in retrospect.
Well, it worked, in that you got a lot of sort of female attention out of it, didn't you?
Yes.
It's pathetic.
So there was an element of comedy, as you can see.
Boys. When did the idea of comedy as a possible career occur to you?
Oh, when I was about 23. It never occurred to me. Because, you see, just after my time in the Footlights at Cambridge, everybody started thinking about show business. But before that, 1 or 2 exceptional people had done it, like Peter Cook. But no, all the people in my year, 1963, we all had jobs, or advertising or teaching. I was going to be a lawyer. I was going to be a solicitor. Freshfields, solicitors to the Bank of England. I was going to get £12 a week. And writing for Dick Emery and Derek Guyler, I got 30 quid a week. So I was happy, and I didn't have to wear a suit.
Because I was working in restaurants, I when you work in the evening, and, we didn't have video recorders then, and I was utterly unaware of the scene that was happening in comedy. I mean, I really, really was unaware. I worked frantically hard in the restaurant, desperately trying to, make something of myself. And so when people said, "Oh, do you know who Alexis Sale is?" I had no idea who he was. I didn't know who Ben Elton was. I didn't know what was going on at all. And they said, "You can't not be on stage doing what you do in the staff room and in the kitchen and making fun of stuff. And why don't you do that on stage?" And it just sort of relit the fire for me. I had been aware that the Comedy Store was around the corner, and I had always intended to go and never made the time to go and do it. And the minute I stepped in that place, it was like coming home. It really was, because I was there and there was everyone on stage that I thought, Christ, they've started without me. How dare they?